First, I want to start off. The prevailing wage law gives labor and industries sole authority for oversight of that, correct?
That is
Yes.
correct.
Okay, thank you. Next, last year I asked a few questions about the performance of our work programs. I was sent, I think, these two books. Neither of them really answered my questions, but we'll go through the data in them. Page 17 of Workforce Development Update Fall 2018. There's a program in there called the Work Innovation Fund Grant Micro Credentials. It's a $6 million program. Pennsylvania received $6 million of $34 million. The 3 years that we're in here, number of participants enrolled are 767, and the number of participants that begin training were 748, about a 19% drop. And then number of participants that completed training were 400. That was about a 47% completion rate. Do we know what happened to the recipients that did not?
I'm not
Complete
familiar.
training?
I'm not familiar with that program. I would certainly what I would like to do, Representative, if you weren't satisfied with the answers that you got, please reach out to my office, and we'll meet with you. You can come see
Okay.
us. We'll come see you
mean-
to answer those questions.
Generally, are we actually matching individuals up with jobs when they get done programs? That's what the general question is. But, this one specifically, 448 people were credentialed out of the 768. That's only 58% were actually credentialed going through that program.
I'm not familiar with the specifics of that program, and again, I would encourage you to reach out to our office, and if you don't get answers that you want, we want to give you the correct answers. Answer your question. You may not like the answer, we may not like the answer, but we certainly do want to answer the question.
Okay. Within your annual report 2018, your WOA programs, there's under WOA program for Title IV Vocation Rehabilitation, participants served 28,000, participants exited 13,619. What's your definition of participants exited?
And OVR, I have nothing on that.
I don't know.
I have nothing on it.
Again, I'm not ready to answer that question, but I would love to do the research and sit down and answer the question with you.
And that's how all your WOA programs, your Title IVs are participants served and then participants exited. How many, what is that? Was it success, not success? Do you still have them trapped and they didn't get to exit your room?
I don't think it was that.
I hope not. I saw it. I was thinking, are these
What I would
poor
like to do,
people, 13,000 poor people still stuck?
Our executive director of the State Workforce Board, James Martini, is responsible for putting that report together with a lot of input from stakeholders, from the State Board. It's approved by the State Board. So I would love to set up a meeting with you and Mr. Martini and myself and anyone else that you would like to have there.
Just
to
kind of
answer those
going
questions.
through more data, you have the appendices on local performance for programs in 2017. I mean, a lot of this book is kind of individual stories versus broad programmatic reviews of how successful we are and how many people signed up for training. Your negotiated level versus your actual performance. Some kind of look good, and then there's this new measurable grade of actual performance of skill gains, people that actually gain skills. Statewide, it's only 34.1%. Some areas, high success rate, 72.2% in the Northeast region, some as low as 1%. So kind of looking through the data, some good, kind of some bad, but generally, if we're paying for it, we should be seeing people connected to workforce, and we're spending a lot of money, right? What's your total budget on workforce development?
Total
Yeah,
is about $453 million.
we're spending close to $500 million, yet we have open jobs, high-paying open jobs. And I heard a lot today about minimum wage. We have high-paying open jobs, and we're spending $500 million on workforce development programs.
Let me clarify that one piece. Over 97% of that are federal dollars. The state input into that is $12.56 million.
I don't care if it's feds.
I know you
don't
don't,
care if
and-
it's states.
and
We're
I
spending
understand that,
$500 million.
but
And
I
by the
just-
way, that's federal dollars. Like if we're not producing, and the only reason we have a lot of data is because they're federal programs. I mean, they require the data search. I mean,
And we provide that data in the manner that they ask for it.
Yeah. And by the way, some of our programs, I mean, I'm not sure industry partnerships, we have robust data on success. I haven't seen that yet. So getting data on how successful we are is very important because we want to make sure that we're actually getting people into high-paying jobs that I heard repeatedly in this room that are open. You know, we just had Gladfelder from York County leave. They went to North Carolina. It was heartbreaking because they've been in business for, you know, over 100 years in Pennsylvania. I'm starting to see a lot more jumps to other states like Texas, Florida, individuals leaving the state to those areas. So we got to battle back, and you know, making sure we match up people with high-paying jobs that are there, I think, are key. And getting the data on success, I think, will help drive those decisions. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.